Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Louder,
सब बोलो
everyone.
Om Shanti.
Say Om Shanti.
अच्छा,
Acha.
ओम शांति के बाद अंदर से कौन सा आवाज निकलता है?
After we say Om Shanti, what is the sound that emerges
मेरे कान
from
को क्या
inside?
कहता है?
What is each one's
बाबा।
experience? Baba.
यहाँ पहले बाबा फिर ओम शांति, या ओम
Or is it
शांति फिर
first
बाबा?
Baba and then Om Shanti?
बाबा में हम समा जाते हैं,
We
या
get
बाबा अपन
merged
में हमको संभाले?
in Baba, or is it that Baba becomes merged in us?
क्या फीलिंग रहती है?
What is your feeling?
शिव बाबा नाम रूप जैसे स्थूल साकारी मनुष्य का है,
Shiv
या
Baba's
आकारी देवों
name
का
and
है,
form, just
उनसे
as
न्यारा है,
just as human beings' name and
नाम
form
भी न्यारा
is
है।
different, so Shiv Baba's name
शरीर
and
है ही
form
नहीं,
is
शरीर पर नाम
different.
नहीं है।
He doesn't have a body. He doesn't have a bodily
रूप
name.
भी कहता है जैसी आत्मा है वैसे मैं हूँ,
His form is also that
परंतु
of a soul. He says, I'm just like a soul.
वो है सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम।
But he is the truth, the beautiful one, and
गहराई में
the
जाएंगे
point.
उसके नाम और रूप में,
If we go into
और
the
हमारे
depth of his
जब
name and
नाम रूप
form,
कहेंगे तो शरीर के भान में आएंगे।
then we come into the
हम भी
form of the
शरीर के भान
body.
से परे हो
Just as when we
जाएं,
remember our name, we come into the form of the body.
और किसी के भी शरीर के नाम रूप में हमारे का से न्यारे बन जाएं,
We should become beyond, we
तो
should go
मुझे
beyond
पॉसिबल लगता
the
है
name and form of others also.
हम भी सत्यता से
Then it becomes
बड़ा
possible,
सुंदर बन जाएंगे, कल्याणकारी
then it
रूप
seems possible that with truth we can
अंदर
become
शिव का
beautiful, we can become world benefactors.
सत्य है और कल्याणकारी है।
Our form from within is that of
तो मेरे
truth
मुख्य
and
भाई
that
भाई
which
आके
brings
बैठे हैं,
benefit.
क्या समझते हो?
My
पॉसिबल है?
instrument brothers and sisters sitting in the front,
बहनों
what do you
भाइयों,
feel? My brothers, my
सत्यता
sisters, what do you think?
सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम। तो
He's the
सुंदर इतना
truth,
इतना सुंदर लगता है, इतना
he's
सुंदर
the
लगता है
point, and he's the beautiful one.
जो कहीं आंख नहीं डूबती है।
He's so
उन जैसा
beautiful
सुंदर
that
कोई है नहीं।
I I don't get attracted to anybody else because there's no one as attractive as
प्रैक्टिकल
him.
प्रमाण,
And
ब्रह्मा बाबा को
according
ऐसे बनाया
to the practical proof, he also made
जिससे शिव
Brahma
बाबा
Baba
का परिचय
like
मिला,
that
सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम का
because he received the introduction of God that he's Satyam, Shivam, and
अनुभव हुआ।
Sundaram, this truth and this
हमने
point
ही
and
अनुभव से
this
कहा
beautiful
है
one.
सत्य है शिव
We, in fact,
कल्याणकारी बर
said to him
अकल है।
that he is the truth and he is the world benefactor and he's the beautiful one.
उसकी दृष्टि माँ सुखकारी है,
His drishti is one that
तो
is of
उसकी
great
दृष्टि
benefit to all.
वंडरफुल है।
His drishti is wonderful.
ब्रह्मा बाबा के द्वारा
Through
कहता
Brahma
है मेरे
Baba,
को शरीर नहीं है ना,
he says, I don't have a
ब्रह्मा बाबा
body,
की दृष्टि के द्वारा,
but through giving us
और हमने देखा
drishti through
ब्रह्मा बाबा की
Brahma,
दृष्टि बदल गई।
we also noticed how Brahma
पहले
Baba's
जो
drishti
बाबा की
changed.
दृष्टि थी,
The drishti that Brahma Baba had before,
भक्ति मार्ग में जो दृष्टि थी, तो भक्ति मार्ग में भी बड़ी न्यारी दृष्टि थी
even on the path of bhakti,
और
that
मनुष्यों के
drishti
तरफ
was
नहीं थी।
different. She's talking about Brahma Baba. Even then, the drishti was different.
बाबा के
But
आने से, शिव बाबा के
after Shiv Baba came
प्रवेश
into
होने से
Brahma, after he incarnated into Brahma,
दृष्टि इतनी वंडरफुल हो गई।
the drishti became so wonderful.
बस शरीर का भान ही भूल जाता था बाबा की दृष्टि से.
We would just take that moment's
घंटे
drishti
घंटे बैठ
and
जाते.
forget our body.
अभी तो
We would
जल्दी
be
लाल
sitting
बत्ती
there
से
for
वाइट
hours.
बत्ती जलती है ना, चलना शुरू होता है.
Here I notice as soon as the white light
तब
comes
तो
on,
कोई
everybody
हिलावे तो
starts
हिलते भी
moving.
नहीं.
Then in those days, even if they tried to move us, we
मेरा
would
जी
still
चाहता है
remain still. My heart
कुछ
desires
ऐसा
that
नवीनता आ जावे
there should be some
कि
newness,
शुरू में
just like the newness of the
बाबा
early
के
days.
सामने बैठे
Sit in front
गुम
of
हो जाते
Baba
थे.
and just disappear.
तो उसमें एक बात याद आती है,
I remember one other thing.
मुझे कोई पहाड़ी पर कहाँ बैठे थे.
Somebody was sitting on a rock
हम थोड़े थे,
somewhere.
मुझे याद नहीं कौन सी
I can't remember
कहाँ बैठे थे.
precisely
वो
where we were
सीन याद
sitting.
नहीं है.
I can't
पर हम
remember the
बैठे थे.
details, but we were sitting, some of us, on a
और
rock.
ये शब्द बोलते मुझे दो तीन सीन सामने आ गई.
As I said this, some scenes came in front of me now.
क्या था, मक्खी घूम रही थी.
So there was a fly that was, moving around,
तो
flying around, buzzing.
हमको ख्याल है, हम लोगों को ख्याल है मक्खी को ऐसे करना चाहिए जो आदमी बैठे.
So we had the thought, should we go like this, like move the fly as we sit in remembrance?
ऐसे करना
Should we
चाहिए.
do that? Like try and shoo
बाबा
it
क्या
away?
कहता है,
And what Baba said,
इतना योग पावर मक्खी आप ही भाग जावे.
that your yoga power should be so powerful that the fly
ऐसे
flies
हाथ में
away.
करना पड़े.
You shouldn't even have to move your hand
Really ऐसी
to
तपस्या
shoo
कराई,
the fly away. He made us do such intense tapasya.
इतनी पावर
The fly
वायुमंडल की मिले,
shouldn't
उड़
have
जावे.
the power, that the fly should move away automatically
ये
because
मेरे
of the
बाबा
power
ने
of the atmosphere.
हम बच्चों को इतनी अच्छी तपस्या कराई है.
Baba made us do such good
अगर वो
tapasya,
दिन वो
intense
घड़ियां याद
tapasya.
आती है,
And when I
जी
remember those
चाहता है सभी
moments,
वो अनुभव करें.
then I feel
क्या करूं,
everyone should
मेरे
experience the
मुझे
same.
आत्मा को ये बड़ा मेरी इच्छा है, आप सब अनुभव करो.
It's the desire in my soul that
दूसरी
all
मेरी
of you
बारी की
also
बात याद आई.
experience this.
फिर तीसरी भी याद आने लगी है.
I'm remembering other
जब
scenes.
दूसरी बारी की बात याद ये आई,
Another time I
हम
remember,
सब बैठ पहाड़ी पर बाबा अच्छा योग कराता था.
he made us do very good yoga on the mountains, on the
तब
rocks.
शाम को लेके जाता.
He used to take us there in the evenings.
पहाड़ी पर बैठे हैं,
We're sitting on the mountains.
इतनी साइलेंस थी, इतनी साइलेंस.
There was so much silence, so much silence.
तो बाबा साइलेंस के बाद पूछता है,
Then after the silence, Baba asked, "Where were you sitting?"
बाबा के सामने बैठे हैं ना.
You're sitting in front of
मैं
Baba, aren't
पूछता हूँ
you?
कहाँ बैठे थे.
I asked you, where are you
क्या
sitting?
जवाब दे मैं.
What are we supposed to answer?
बाबा बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था.
Baba, it felt very good.
मैं पूछता हूँ कहाँ.
And again, Baba said, where were you sitting?
किसी को बाबा कुछ नई बात सुनानी होती होंगी.
So we thought, okay, Baba wants to
कौन
tell us
ब्रह्मांड में
something
बैठे
new.
थे.
And Baba said, say that you were sitting in Brahmand up there.
तभी कभी ब्रह्मांड का नाम सुना नहीं था.
In fact, we hadn't even heard the term Brahmand till then.
रहने पर ब्रह्मांड में बैठे थे.
Of course, we had heard that there's a world up there, but not this name, Brahmand. And then he spoke a murli on this, that we're in an egg form and we're sitting up there in the soul world.
अभी ऐसा योग कभी करेंगे.
So when will you do this kind of yoga? That we are sitting in Brahmand.
अभी तीसरी बात सुनाती हूँ.
Another third story.
एक यानी ये वंडरफुल बात है.
This is another wonderful aspect, that
जैसे वो याद क्या क्या काम करती है, कैसे करती है, याद किसको कहा जाता है.
What is remembrance? What does remembrance actually accomplish? These are the experiences Baba gave us.
तो एक आत्मा थी.
So there was one soul
जो मुझे अडॉप्ट किया था.
Who had adopted me in a Lokik sense. She liked me, so she had said that I would be her daughter. She had adopted me as a daughter.
और हमारी तबीयत ठीक नहीं थी,
and
बाबा के साथ पैदल करने नहीं गई थी,
and she wasn't well, and this person
और
wanted
अंदर
to
था
meet
मैं
her,
क्या सेवा करूं,
and she thought, what service can I do?
बेगरी पार्ट था,
It was the beggary part.
तो उसको टचिंग आई थी,
So this person had a touching.
बाबा भी उसको जानता था,
Baba also knew this person.
जब पैदल करके बाबा लौट रहा था,
So when Baba returned from walking,
तो विश्व किशोर दादा को कहा,
he told Vishwakishore Dada
ये फलाना लगता है जानकी से मिलने आया होगा,
that this person has come to meet Janki,
बाबा ऊपर आया,
this man, this person.
मुझे कहा,
Baba came upstairs and
बच्ची
said
वो आ रहा है
that
तुम्हारे से मिलने के
that
लिए,
person is coming to meet
फिर
you.
बाबा आ गया, विश्व किशोर को लेके आया, वो आज मिलने, अच्छी तरह मिलना,
So
जो
meet
नीचे
him
अब
well,
रोड का मिलने देंगे नहीं तुमको,
because at Abu Road he was told they won't let you meet her
कभी
because
कोई
she
मिलने
wasn't
आते भी
well.
नहीं थे,
In fact, nobody used to come up and visit us in those days.
तो बच्ची रात रहने चाहे ना तो ऑफर करना,
And Baba said if he wants to stay the night, also let him stay the night.
तो जब ऊपर आया,
So when he came up,
मेरे को देखा,
he saw me.
अस्थमा था परंतु ठीक है,
I had asthma.
तो उसको
I
इतनी
wasn't
खुशी
so
हुई,
well,
इतनी
but it was
खुशी
okay.
आई,
But he was so happy to see me.
ये तो समझा था, इसने जो सब कुछ हो रहा है भगवान के कारण ही,
And he had understood that whatever she had renounced, it was because of God. And he started to experience the experiences that I had had with God.
जो अभी
Why am I telling you this? Because these gurus, these Mahatmas also have this experience. Because Baba says, give the power of experience to others. This is what Baba has taught us. So I said, come, it's very good that you've come. He said, I just felt a pull. He used to live in Pune, and he said, I just felt like coming to see you. And I asked, would you like to stay? And he said, can I stay? And I said, of course you can stay. I wasn't walking and moving around, so others fed him and looked after him. But he experienced a lot of silence, a lot of happiness. And he thought she's staying in a very lovely place. He was happy seeing that she's staying in a lovely place. Those days were lovely. He stayed the night. In Bridge Koti there were 3 rooms. According to Maharajas, they would be termed accommodation for their drivers, but Baba had made it nice inside. It was nice, and so he stayed in that room. When he came in the morning, he heard Baba's Murli. And Baba gave me such drishti. In fact, I don't have this experience of trance at all, but I felt at that moment that I've just gone beyond. It was such a lovely experience. Baba is so big. Baba is big, I'm holding him in my hands, and I'm just, roaming around. So there's this term, Oh Prabhu, Oh God. Your games are unique. Your wonders are unique. Baba asked me, what did you experience? And I said, Baba, 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 it was so nice, so nice. And Baba said, Acha. Afterwards, somebody asked me what happened, and I said, if somebody can just recognize me, Baba gives me so much power, so much strength. And then that brother was hearing this. He had breakfast and he left. He had 13 rupees in his pocket. And as we said, that was the beggary part. And he said, I'm sorry, I couldn't bring anything else. And Dadi said, doesn't matter, at least you came to see Baba. And he said, this is all I have. Because he used to like attending satsangs. But seeing Baba's light, seeing Baba's love, it had just been a short while that we had come from Karachi. So he gave me the 13 rupees. He went to Abu Road and he knew Anand Kishore Dada. So we got a phone call from Abu Road that he's calling Anand Kishore Dada. And he called Anand Kishore Dada because he had some shares and he sold them at Abu Road and gave them to Dada Anand Kishore. So there's a story that when there is the crowd of the Bhagats, then God helps. And that when there's a crowd at God's place, then the Bhagats help. And so this was Dadi's experience, that there was a need in God's house, and so the Bhagats helped. But normally when there's a crowd, when there's a need for the Bhagats, then God helps. And my health got better, but the service was happening even though I wasn't well. Then the next day, I'm not sure when, but Baba took us on the rocks and he gave me powerful drishti. Then he asked me, what were you doing? What am I going to do in front of Baba? I'm just going to remember him. What else am I going to do? Even now, if you play a song, I'll start dancing. I had so much intoxication, so much happiness. So he said, did you remember that brother? And then she wasn't sure what to reply, and Baba said, you should remember him. When you sit in remembrance, it is your job to remember him in the gathering, that at the end he remembers this scene. There's other stories like this, that through remembrance many tasks get accomplished. This is the sanskar that Baba has instilled in us. But what is remembrance? We should experience that. If you tell me, I can tell you more. But there's another story. Let's set aside that story, but there's another story. I used to see Baba come 4 o'clock for meditation accurately. I used to be a nurse and give others what they needed, the patients, for example, to sit them up on their bed or give them tea or something. So even if the patients die, let them die sitting at Amrit Vela meditation. But I used to get them settled, and then I too used to go and sit at 4 o'clock. And then Baba said, today Baba's going to conduct yoga at 2 o'clock. Bridge Koti, I'm not sure everybody has seen it, but it's wonderful. It had a balcony on the front, a very nice big balcony. And Baba sat us there in a V shape, and in the front was Mama and Baba. So he said, 25 hours, I'm going to let you sit here and nobody should nod off to sleep. He used to do this from time to time. In those days, Baba used to speak the Murli that you should serve the Rajas. There was the Raj Mata, the queen of Bikaner, because we had the Bikaner house here. So the queen of Bikaner was here. So I said, Baba, shall I go and serve her? And Baba said, yes, of course. So I went. She was in Mount Abu at the time because of the Bikaner palace. I asked the office, am I able to meet the queen? And they said, what? You want to meet her? And he said, okay, let me try. And so Dadi saying, you will say, how can you ask? But that person told me, yes, I will try. In those days, I didn't even wear a sari. None of us wore a sari. And we went to the queen of Bikaner. And he took us, actually the officer took us, and I spoke to her. They said that the Brahma Kumaris have come to meet you, and she was so happy to see us. She sat with us for an hour. She just kept listening with a lot of love. She said, I'm going to tell you something in your ear which I haven't told anyone. I don't actually sleep before 12 at night. When God gives me a vision, that's a vision of Him, then I sleep. But who can I tell this to? I tell God, God, until you give me the vision, I cannot sleep. I said, you just want a glimpse, a vision of God, but God talks to us. And she said, really? God talks to you? So I started to tell her what God tells us. She just kept listening. And then the same night, Baba sat with us. And from 2 o'clock, we sat in yoga, and so much other service took place through that yoga. Yoga is going on, and in the middle of that, Baba asked, what are you doing? And I said, Baba, I was in yoga. And Baba asked, did you remember the queen? And I thought maybe my intellect is not right. And Baba said, you should remember her, because she is desperate to want to hear God's words. And then next time, Baba said, take Kumarka with you. And again, the queen was so happy to see us. Baba did such lovely service like this. So the first thing I was sharing, that was Shantamani Dadi's uncle, that brother. They were very close families. When he returned to Pune, so Baba sent me to Pune and said, go and see how he is. And he died actually taking drishti from Dadi. And his wife had a lot of love for us. And his brother had a son. They had a son, not a daughter. And so they used to call me sister then. Then I went to Calcutta. Then I heard suddenly, when I went to Calcutta, that there was some patient in the hospital. And she doesn't want to tell us the name, but anyway, this person, this patient, was dying and he took drishti. Anyway, she doesn't want to tell us the name, but somebody was sick in the hospital. She went, and his wife loved us a lot. But again, he died taking drishti, and she was so happy to see us there. She gave us so much love. Her brother was in Panama. He took the sister with the kids. And the wonder is, then I went to Panama just recently. There was no Sindhis. Where's Marcelo? Marcelo, are you here? At the back. So Marcelo made arrangements to go from Colombia to Panama. And he tried to get in touch with some Sindhis who could come and collect Dadi. This sister's brother had bought a new car, and he emerged to pick us up. He was so happy. He brought other Sindhis. And then we also gave a talk at a temple. So stop looking at others, stop talking about others. Just look at the self, look at Baba. What is my meaning in telling you all this? That Baba has a plan. We have to become renunciates and tapasvis. Tyagi and tapasvi. Renunciates and tapasvi. And sevadaris, servers. My Maria is sitting in the corner. She has so much love from the beginning. She was the one who called us to China. Such beautiful service took place. It's a wonder whatever Baba wants to get done, somebody or the other, something or another becomes instrument to get the service done. We just have to be present. All of you also just remain completely carefree, remain completely faithful on the drama, remain an instrument, and then see God's wonder. When world service started, I had seen the scene of 1952, that I was playing with Baba in my hands and just traveling around the globe. And everybody had an experience of Baba. So that's the scene I carried with me. Somebody asked me, why you travel so much? Dadi says, I don't travel, but I'm just connecting the souls that were lost from Baba. I'm just connecting them with Baba again. There are some or the other souls lost. Lucy left, Mrs. King, she left today. Or yesterday, I'm not sure. But she left and Dadi met her with a lot of love. She's so loving, so lovely. She has, Mrs. King in the Philippines, she has done so many programs. She's a VIP soul from the Philippines. And she's done so much. In fact, we don't have to do anything. They will do it for us. Now is the time to experience the happiness of this life. Later we will become like holy souls, religious souls. Everybody should experience what is the property that we experience from Baba: peace, power, not just in my mind, but through my churning also. Just keep going into the depth of knowledge. Just keep taking that dip into the ocean of knowledge. Keep taking that dip and then come out pure. I think Hans is telling Dadi there's some Russian sisters who have to perform a dance. So they're backstage.
पर जो सुनना अच्छा है
Whatever you heard, was that okay?
अभी डांस करेंगे
Now there's going to be a dance.
ओके अब माइक उठाने के लिए आए हैं
So they've come to take my mic away.